Not having, well, overall, how do you think, how would you assess the match?
It was good. I did the most important things. I took care of my serve. I thought he played really well, and I just sort of put that pressure on him in those final service games of his of each set, and it paid off for me.
Milos, you served in volley with the very first point, and then you kept that going throughout the whole match. Is that part of your initial strategy, or did you feel confident that you could continue doing that throughout the match?
We never really spoke about it, but I paid attention to what he did yesterday against Kevin, and he was blocking a lot of returns back, so it was sort of just to put it in his mind that I want to take that option away from him.
You've had a really good year. ATP has now said you've reached the quarterfinals or better, including this week, and 8 of the last 10 tournaments. Now your first final of the year. Things are starting. Do you feel like they're finally coming together this year?
Yeah, obviously I want more, but I think I have a much better understanding of what I need to bring out of myself, especially earlier in tournaments, so I can do consistently well at each tournament and give myself an opportunity to get into those weekend stages of each event.
Last year here, you crashed out early, I think immediately. We're just kind of frustrated on the way back to Canada. What's the biggest difference between last year and this year?
I think I've improved a lot. I think mentally I know how to deal with things much better. I know how to compete better. I know what I need to do on the bigger moments, the more important stages of the matches. But also, last year I think I was very disappointed with how French Open and Wimbledon finished. This year it's quite a bit around, so playing here definitely with a lot more confidence, even though it doesn't really carry because there's been so much of a break since Wimbledon.
You might get Gasquet in the final, or possibly you played 3 dramatic matches against both of them last year, especially Gasquet. Wasn't that the US Open? What are your memories from that match, and what would you do differently?
I wouldn't do much different. I was one shot away. I think I played a lot of those parts of that match correctly. So I played him since then. I was able to come through. And I just have to focus on my game, focus on things I need to do, and try to implicate that on him.
You said how to play next.
I don't have a choice.
Okay. Were the courts playing fast or normal or slow?
It's a medium court. The only thing is, since the balls generally this time of year are a little bit lighter, they fly a bit more than per se Wimbledon, or the clay court events we're coming from.
You said that you would do things differently earlier in the tournament. Can you also?
I just play more simple tennis. I don't necessarily go, okay, I'm playing well now, let's try to hit winners right away from the beginning. I understand, I just keep the things pretty basic and try to get better as the tournament goes on, and then maybe go for a little bit more in the later rounds when I sort of have that confidence in that specific event behind me.
What's your relationship with Vasek?
It's a good relationship. We get along. We've gotten along since we were, I think, under 12. So we did a lot of trips together under sort of the same national coach stuff, and we've followed each other around the last few years. So it's a good relationship.
Do you think your deep run here this week might be a quick, tough turnaround into Rogers Cup next week, where there are a lot, maybe expectations from yourself and the home fans?
No, I think this year what's different around from, let's say, when I did it last year in Rogers Cup, I did well. Had to go around Cincinnati and play on a Tuesday. I've gotten my ranking up to the point where I can give myself no matter what 2 days, and I can go in with a light day and then a maybe more aggressive day depending on what I want and how I feel and what I feel is necessary.
This new confidence, is it something that's come naturally with the results and the ranking getting higher this year, or is it something you've actually actively had to work?
It's come from everything, the type of work we've been doing during the off season, then obviously not being able to play much at the beginning of the year, and then being able to make quarters right away in Indian Wells, followed that with many quarters. Been sort of each tournament, especially the bigger ones, been giving myself the opportunity to face the top guys and have it be them that take me out of the events rather than guys maybe that I wouldn't think I should necessarily lose to. So all those things combined helps.
Just going back to Vasek for a second and Wimbledon, which we talked about before, obviously it was a huge Wimbledon I mean, have you noticed anything different about either Canadian media or the amount of attention he's getting, or even just seeing him around? Does he have like a? He always has a rosy glow. So does he have more of a rosy glow?
I did not check out his complexion. But no, especially he's had a tough year, and it's Wimbledon's a factor in it. Then he's done pretty solidly in the last events, and now he's playing some great tennis this week. So obviously he's let's say a little bit more perky and happy and excited. So it's good to see.
Last question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.